We are a day away from celebrating our nation's birthday, but we begin the celebration this weekend, and it continues this afternoon. A gorgeous day as the Phils get set for the finale of this three-game series against the Kansas City Royals. Each team has won a game so far. Weekends with Schmidt, presented by Acme Markets. All right, so this is interleague baseball. The Phillies find themselves one game under 500, which is pretty good considering where they usually are at this point this season. They've got today's ball game, and then they've got a couple series coming up against the Chicago White Sox. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs and Mike Schmidt. We get set for this afternoon's ball game. All right, so we wondered if Kendrys Morales was back in the lineup again today for the Kansas City Royals, but why not, Mike? He is sizzling hot right now for Kansas City. I know you know what that feels like after some research. This has been an incredible run for him.
Yeah, you did a little research and found out I was close to that hot way back in 1976. Yes, there's hot, and then there's Kendrys Morales hot. Right now, and the numbers are going to come up on the screen here as you see. This is crazy stuff off of Hernandez. There's one to make a 4-1 game 4-3 in the first game here. There's one off of Aaron Nola, a little breaking ball off the plate, down and in. You see how quick and how erect and nice and still his head is. Boom, another inside pitch. Adam Morgan gives up one. This was a high fly ball that barely got out, but it's a home run. This guy is hot. These are some numbers that are crazy. Hits first at bat, 19 for 31. That's a little over 500, right? Look at the doubles. Look at the RBIs. Crazy stuff. I'll end with this. I think Vince Velasquez should be a little careful today with Kendrys Morales.
We'll see if Vince Velasquez challenges him on the inside part of the plate. Speaking of Vince coming off a victory in his first start since coming back from the disabled list, he looked pretty good. He said he wanted to go at least 5 innings, and he did his last time out.
Well, he looked good. He looked strong. That's the key right there. You always want to see how you feel. His bicep coming off that little injury. But what I really liked was his velocity. He was down in the zone. You can see the highlights here versus Arizona. Fastball was tremendous. He hit 97 in that game. I just love the fact that he was being aggressive with his fastball. And oh, by the way, he decided to come up with a new pitch, the BP fastball right here. He throws as hard as he can changeup, right on 90 miles an hour. A lot of guys think it's a four-seam fastball because it has the same rotation, and all of a sudden you get that swing and miss. So it's nice to see that big power arm back in the lineup, the starting rotation.
Pete McCadden said yesterday about Vince Velasquez he would like him to get some outs a little earlier. He did have 41 pitches through the first 2 innings of his last game against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Today is game 3 of this series. It will be Velasquez making his 14th start, and Yordany Ventura, who is a hard-throwing right-hander, making his 15th start of the season for the Kansas City Royals. Well, we're putting the final touches on what should be a great 4th of July. Can the Phillies bats stay hot? We've seen it over the last handful of days. We've also seen some great fireworks shows. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Get big savings at Toyota's Red, White, and Blue sales event. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank. The next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Well, back here at Citizens Bank Park as we get set for a little day baseball, the finale of this 3-game series between the Phillies and the Kansas City Royals. Phillies have taken the field behind right-hander Vince Velasquez, setting the pace right now, warming up out on the mound after a stirring rendition of the national anthem. The Royals won last night. The Phillies won game number 1 of this series. Let's take a look at the Royals starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Alex Gordon leads it off in left field, then Whit Merrifield, the second baseman. Kendrys Morales, the right fielder, hits third, followed by Eric Hosmer and Cheslor Cuthbert. Alcides Escobar is up to the 6th spot. He'll play shortstop. Gerard Dyson, the center fielder, hits 7th. Drew Butera will bat 8th and do the catching. And batting 9th at pitching is Giordano Ventura. Now they will face right-hander Vince Velasquez. The 24-year-old is 6-2, an ERA of 3.38. We mentioned during the open, Matt, he went 5 innings in his first assignment back from his rehab. He's trying to limit the pitches. He threw 41 in the first 2 innings of his last outing against the D-backs.
Yeah, early contact would be good for him right now. I mean, he still has that good fastball, overpowering fastball. As you take a look at the scouting report, he averages 94, which is very good on his fastball. 4-pitch pitcher. He didn't use his curve as much last outing. He used more sliders. And he's going to come up with a new pitch called the BP fastball. And I can't believe it, but he throws it 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, Bob McClure has told him, I want you to throw it as hard as you can. It's kind of a page out of Zach Greinke's book. Alex Gordon will lead things off. Now, the first pitch of the day is off the end of the bat. That was nearly a 1-pitch out.
That might have been it.
That was it.
Yeah, came in at 87. It'll range 87 to 90 in that area. I asked Cameron Rupp about it, and he said the theory is to just try to take a little off the fastball. I said, how does he hold it? He said he holds it kind of like a circle change and throws it as hard as he possibly can. No balls and 1 strike to Alex Gordon. Threw it again, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now, why the changeup or the BP fastball is so effective is because it's the same rotation as a 4-seamer. And you think it's going to be a 94, 95 mile an hour fastball, so you're going to attack it. And the reason why you kind of choke the baseball, you get it deeper back in your hand, is you can't tell or determine the velocity of it because it still has the same type of spin.
Well, he's thrown 3 of them so far. Here's the 1-2. And a liner to left center field. That's in for a base hit. Odubel Herrera will get it quickly. And for Gordon, that's his 2nd hit of this series. All right, it's time now for our Nissan keys to the game. Michael, let's start with you.
All right, Tommy, we got to value our at-bats more. Yesterday, I thought after getting behind in the game, guys were making outs way too early in the at-bat. Not giving the pitcher a chance to dig a hole for himself. You got to go up there and you got to say, look, I'm not making an out. I'm going to play the game how it's supposed to be played based on the fact that we're behind. If you're ahead, you can go ahead and let her fly. But when you're behind and when it's close, make that pitcher work.
I would agree. And mine is, you can see right here, Vince Velasquez pitch to contact. Early outs, early contact's a great thing. Try to keep that pitch limit down, and I would love to see him go 7 innings today.
Yeah, we want Velasquez to have the same kind of an experience as a pitcher today that Duffy had against us yesterday.
Yeah, Duffy a career high 8 2/3 in last night's game for the Royals. So a runner at first, and here is Whit Merrifield, who's 4 for 8 this series. The first pitch low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. So that was at 90 miles an hour. That looked like a fastball.
That was a fastball.
And here come the trainers. John Ficasny, Phillies athletic trainer, Cameron Rupp, Pete McCannon heading out. This is kind of like the day he was taken out of the ball game with the biceps tendonitis.
Would that have been like a Cameron Rupp call to the dugout or something they saw from the dugout?
Well,
or they were watching the speed gun out here and not seeing a 94, 95?
I was watching Cameron after the base hit the left field by Gordon. He went to the mound and had a long talk with him.
Yeah, because
he hasn't thrown a ball 90s as high as he's thrown the first 4 pitches.
And maybe those weren't all changeups that he threw to the first batter. Cam will peek over. Here we go.
Sort of like, you know, there's nothing coming out, or he won't. Cameron's the only one that knows what pitches he called.
All right, well, he's going to stay in. They're going to watch this closely just to see where he is. I mean, maybe it's a case of not getting loose enough.
No, you know, sometimes great pitchers. I remember Tom Seaver. They get him in the first or second inning because, you know, he's just going to try to kind of feel his way through the first couple innings till he gets to feeling good, you know, till he gets more like a boxer, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and pitchers know how to get people out, you know, without the 95, 96.
Well, 1 ball and no strikes to Merrifield.
Hopefully that's what this was.
On the inside corner, 88 with that pitch. And it's 1-1.
If that's a fastball, that's not his normal fastball.
No.
No, he's off by, I would say, on average, 7.5 miles per hour. If you think that 95.3 or so is his average fastball, or in that vicinity.
Well, you know, we get 10, 12 pitches in this game. If he doesn't throw 195, something's wrong.
And we mentioned he is young and he's had arm problems before, so they're going to be extra careful with him. 1 ball, 1 strike to Merrifield. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Good slider right there. Very good slider.
Be an eerie feeling being a pitcher and having an arm, you know, having your arm not be right.
Off the hands, out of play. And remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. My assumption is that was a changeup just based on the speed.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things where we are going to be guessing a lot because usually his fastball averages 94. His changeup usually is around 60 or 86 to 90. Curveballs in the 70s.
Right.
The sliders in the low 80s.
Now these guys in the other dugout over here, they're looking at the speed gun readout on the scoreboard out here.
Swing and a miss to the changeup.
You got the strikeout.
1 away. Well, and they faced Velasquez twice before.
Okay, so I mean they know that this, you know, he's a hard thrower. He lives around 94, 95, 96, and we haven't seen one over 90 here yet. So they're, you know, kind of got the red flag up in their dugout. What's going on out there?
Well, they're 3-finger changeup.
Yeah.
So it actually is not a circle change.
Just a 3-finger.
3-finger changeup. Ball gets deeper in your hand.
Yeah, whereas a circle change is middle, ring, pinky. This one is ring, middle, index finger. It's interesting. John Ficasny and Bob McClure staying close. 1 ball, no strikes to Kendrys Morales. Morales has 3 hits in this series, and all 3 are home runs. He is 9 for 15 on this road trip for the Royals, which includes the 2 games in St. Louis. 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss. 90 on the fastball. Morales overall 262 with 14 home runs and 45 runs batted in. This hot streak of 8 games has produced an 8-game hitting streak.
Mike, you said it perfect in the open. You said there's hot hitters and then there's Morales hot. And he's been swinging very well. You know what? The reason why he's been swinging the bat so well is he's not chasing balls out of the zone. He is locked in. That ball's coming in slow motion, and he's not missing his pitches right now. Now that eventually will change because you can't stay hot the whole year.
What about the theory, Matt, that we talked about before the game, you and I, about early on he was chasing the outside part of the plate. There were strikes and nobody was throwing inside. Now he's hitting the outside part of the plate, so they're throwing more inside.
Well, and that's his strength. I think his strength's in.
There's ball 4.
Yeah, two pitches right there. The last 2 pitches he could have very easily swung at both of them there, but then he ends up on first base.
Well, last night he was bringing the lumber, brought to you by Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. He hit a home run from the left side And he hit a home run from the right side of the plate. The third time in his career that he has done that. Joey Davis and Eddie Murray did it 11 times during their careers. That's the most. He was bringing the lumber against Aaron Nola. He was bringing the lumber against Adam Morgan.
11 times.
11 times. How about Ken Singleton? You know how great of a hitter Ken Singleton was. Switch hitter, 246 career home runs. Never hit a home run in the same game, left-handed and right-handed. Runners lead off first and second. Eric Hosmer is the batter. First pitch fastball is in there. 91 on that one, and it's 0-1. Hosmer is 2 for 8 in the series, hitting .304. It's been a solid year for him. His OPS is up over 800. That's slugging and on base combined. 1 ball and 1 strike.
We're moving up.
Moving on up.
Got the 91 there.
He must have convinced everybody that there was no pain. Slider, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, you can throw in that bullpen all day long and then throw it 93, 94, but it's totally different when there's a hitter in the batter's box and you know it's game situation. Get a little adrenaline kicking and probably a little guarded, you know, early in the game. He gets the confidence where he can turn it loose.
Over toward first. Ryan Howard's got it. Bobbles goes to second, and Freddie Galvis is able to hang on to the bag. So they get the middle runner.
That's about all they'd have got anyway, I think, Tommy.
Pretty good pitch to get him to roll over on it.
Yeah, a little off.
Yeah.
Tough hop there for Ryan. Good play by Freddie to get a piece of the bag and on a tough throw. Ryan regrouped and got it to second. We got the out. I don't think we're going to get anything more than that anyway.
Well, now Cuthbert the batter, and he takes on the outside corner.
Oh.
Cuthbert is 3 for 7 with an RBI in this series so far. Overall hitting .274 with 7 homers and 21 runs batted in. Outside. Today's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. Curveball. 2-1, just a bit high with that. First curveball of the day, right? Second one?
Second one, yeah. He's getting underneath. You usually see that 12-6 curveball coming from him. 2 curveballs he's thrown has been almost looked like a slider.
93 upstairs, 2-2. All right, so his fastball velocity is rising.
Well, and I think when you have a power pitcher on the hill, you can see right here, I want to swing, but I don't. I think a lot of people get worried because you expect him to 95, 96, 97, and he's hit 90. So there's a lot of questions. Is he healthy?
Over toward third, a foul ball. That was 95 right there. I think I would be the first one to raise my hand on that.
Well, yeah, because you expect a guy to come out who's coming off a good outing in Arizona with a good fastball, and he says he feels good. And then you see the 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and you start thinking, okay, uh-oh, that's what we saw when he came out of the game after 2 pitches against the Cubs. But Mike made a great point. Power pitchers sometimes take a couple innings to get loose.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He got him. Second strikeout of the inning for Velasquez. It took 23 pitches, but he got through it. It took a few beats of the heart, too. But he's able to blow this fastball right by Chesler, Cuthbert to leave 2 on the corners. We'll go to the bottom of the first. It's the Royals 0 and the Phillies coming up. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Leading it off at center field, Odubel Herrera, then Peter Borges and Cody Ashe. Michael Franco, the third baseman, bats cleanup. Cameron Rupp will hit 5th. Ryan Howard bats 6th. In the bottom third of Freddie Galvis, Cesar Hernandez, and Vince Velasquez. And they will face the 25-year-old Yordano Ventura, who is 6-5 this year. High ERA. Matt, this is way too high in ERA for a guy that's got the stuff that Ventura has.
Well, yeah, it's when he's good, and when he's bad, he is terrible. He's got a very good fastball. Just a guy that needs to go and pound the strike zone. You take a look at the scouting report, 95.4 on his fastball. He is a 3-pitch pitcher. But how about he's given up 8 home runs on pitches that are 95 and above? And it tells you why, because his fastball, the league's hitting 322 versus it.
First pitch fastball to Odubel is down and away. It's 1-0.
His curve's been good. I think his curve's his best pitch. I've seen this young kid pitch for a few years, and I've always liked his curveball.
Opposition hitting $149 against the curveball. Odubel fouls the 1-0 back. Odubel's 2 for 8 in the series. He hit a home run in game 1, hitless in yesterday's ball game.
You can tell he's max effort on every pitch he throws because of the way he finishes with his delivery.
There's that curveball you talked about into the Phillies dugout and right on down the stairs.
Jettison the glasses.
He goes through those spurts during games where he puts it on, he throws it off, he puts it on.
Tell you, I can't do that in golf. If I wear them, I got to keep them on. I can't take them on and off, adjust to the light. I don't know how he does that.
Well, I think we've learned he's a little quirky in a good way. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Herrera.
There's only one ballpark I wore glasses at one to hit in, and that was Fenway before they put that batter's eye, the black tarp in center field. Because you were just looking at people out there the whole time. That's the only ballpark I ever wore glasses at.
They had to change that during day games because it was just awful.
It was dangerous.
Odubel with the 5th pitch of this at bat fouls it off to the left side. Today's Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Teresa De La Quilla of Williamstown. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Teresa will win $200. Stop by McDonald's today and enjoy the new McPick 2 for $2.50 menu. I'm loving it. Off the end of the bat. 1 out here in the first. And the red hot Peter Borges is coming up. Borges hit it in 11 consecutive games. He's hitting .455 during the stretch. His career log is 12 consecutive games. Well,
Borges hot. There's hot, and then there's Borges hot.
Back toward the middle, and there it is. He matches his career high with a 12-game hitting streak. I was going to say, without the home runs, he's hotter than Morales.
That's a beautiful thing. If you just feel like you're confident that when you swing the bat, nice, gosh, darn, that's a nice little short stroke, right? Right in the middle of the field, man. So you set it up mentally now. You've hit his fastball up the middle for a base hit in the first pitch of the game. So.
And you would think with Borges' swing, the way he's saying he doesn't want to swing so hard at all the baseballs now that he sees coming in. When you face a guy throwing hard, you don't need to swing hard.
That's exactly right.
The easier you swing, the more powerful that ball comes off your barrel. And again, I wish I told this when I played.
Cody Ashley takes outside.
Why can't we do it with a driver in our hand there?
1 ball and 1 strike to Ashley, hitting .287 with 2 home runs and 11 runs batted in. Cody with 10 doubles in his last 16 games. Breaks his bat, loops it out towards second, caught by Merrifield. Cody's probably thinking, man, I'm hot. That ball should have went over his head. But there are 2 outs.
Let's see where this pitch is. Ball's on the inside corner.
Yeah, but he was also asking for time.
Oh.
You can tell me he's saying time, time, time. Which a lot of times the guys panic when you start saying time, 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 and they don't give it to you. You think you got to swing automatically. Now with 2 strikes, of course, if it's a strike you do.
Throw over to first, and Borges is back. Looked like he was even asking for time early.
Yeah.
I don't know if the home plate umpire didn't hear him.
I don't mind that. Cody got jammed on that ball. So what's that tell the pitcher that he can get in there next time?
Over toward the hole. Escobar can't get it. Borges will hold up at second.
A lot of times pitcher will jam you, and you think they can get in there again. And then you try to get in there again, and what do? You wrap one around the foul pole?
That'd be good.
So that's pretty much me calling one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So
going to mark it down right now.
Back to my keys to the game. See some pitches, work the count. Kind of going the opposite way. Right? We get 2 first pitch base hits. So Double swung at the second pitch after ball 1. Actually, what, the second or third pitch?
So maybe we should do reverse psychology next time and say be aggressive versus a switcher?
Well, that's what I was leading to. A question for you. Do you think that they've knowing what we know about him and his walks per 9 innings and such, apparently they didn't go into the game with that attitude. Said, let's be aggressive today.
Well, I think they want to be aggressive, and honestly, I think they've been swinging the bat well as of late. So let's remain aggressive. But again, being aggressive is to your strength. We're not being aggressive because it's a ball being thrown in for a strike. We're looking at our area where we want to be aggressive at.
Sort of, it's really a live by the sword, die by the sword thing. It looks bad when you're aggressive and you're making outs, right? And you don't talk about it so much when you're aggressive and you're getting some knocks.
Right. Which is what Borges and Franco have done in this inning. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rupp. That last pitch was 98 from Ventura. Out to right field. That's well hit. Morales going back toward the wall. It is gone! 3-run opposite field home run.
This will be a fun one to watch over because I think that ball is a little up and Man, he's got tuned into that right field wall.
And that was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. So mark it down. Now he's given up 9 home runs.
That's right.
Out of 12 on 90-plus home runs.
And Teresa Delaquila of Williamstown, you've won $200 thanks to Cam Rupp in the McDonald's home run jackpot. That's a big-time power.
Watch this. Watch this. Dive in there. Boom. Look at that. It's almost like an Utley, you know. He kind of cut it off right after he hit it. What a beautiful thing. That's some serious strength, Matt. Serious. You got your kind of strength.
Grandpa strength?
Oh, I thought the other night watching on TV, I thought Cameron really looks locked in.
1-3 on the putout. Howard's retired, but the Phillies do what the Royals did yesterday. They get a 3-run home run. Yesterday it was Morales. Today it was Rupp over the head of Morales.
Isn't that pretty?
Boy. We go to the second. It's 3-zip Phils. Day baseball on the 4th of July. Ray Tipton's birthday, by the way. That's why we're going to start it at 4 o'clock. Tuesday is 7:05, Wednesday 1:05. Our Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com. We go to the top of the second. Phillies on top 3-0. And Alcides Escobar will be the leadoff hitter. First pitch is cut on and missed. It's 0-1. Escobar hitting .264. He's hit in 13 consecutive games. It's 5 off his career high. Escobar so far is 3 for 8 in this series and has 6 hits on the road trip. Over towards the left side, cut off by Franco.
Play.
Franco's Freddie Galvis threw his head back on that, but Mike, being a third baseman, you want to cut those off if you can, right?
Well, the old saying was the third baseman should get anything he can get to, take anything he can get to, and obviously Freddie would have had a much tougher play. Those two guys are always clowning around about something out there, right?
Well, watch Freddie get set. He plants, get ready to throw, and then he throws his head back.
Yeah. What's he want to you ball hog?
Dyson takes low. It looked like he just told Franco, "You stay over there. Yeah. I got this area here." Dyson played in last night's game. And he lines one out toward left center field. Herrera was shaded that way. 2 outs here in the second.
Versus Dyson, that's what you want. You want him to hit the ball in the air, preferably right at somebody. That man can fly.
Yeah, he hit that ball yesterday down the right field line. I thought for sure he was going to be standing on third, but Borges did a good job with his speed to get to it. Here's Drew Butera, who's the backup catcher for the Royals. He's had 59 plate appearances, hitting .302. Longtime backup catcher. See his dad Sal all the time, whether it be in spring training with the Blue Jays or scouting around. Curveball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Mets are putting it on the Cubs right now, 8-1. 3 more home runs, Matt.
Home run derby. Ball's flying over in New York. Either that or just some real bad pitching.
Fly ball right field line. Borges is over. And an easy inning for Velasquez.
Very good inning.
Peter Borges is going to make some little kid's day as he gives that baseball away. We'll go to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Phils. Jake Thompson demonstrates how he throws all of his pitches and his disposal. Watch an all-new Phillies clubhouse Monday night at 11 on CSN. Jimmy Paredes is imitating Maikel Franco's bobblehead that was given out here last week or before the last road trip. Maikel was in between innings was explaining how he went after that baseball as Freddie Galvis was getting ready to hit, and Galvis takes a strike. It's 0-1. Galvis, Hernandez, Velasquez against Ventura, who gave up the 3-run home run in the first. Freddie is 0 for 5 in the series. His average, you saw, 222. He had figured it out at the end of the road trip. Fly ball to right. Morales. Uh-oh. Yeah. One away. Cesar's coming up. Time for our cold hard fact. Let's go to Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. Brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. And when you talk about throwing the fastball and throwing it hard, you got 2 guys in this ball game that's got some serious velocity. You take a look at the highest average fastballs in baseball in the major leagues. There he is, third. Ventura, 95.4. Syndergaard up there at 98 is average fastball, but 95 miles per hour. And of course, Velasquez also with that kind of velocity. You know, the Phillies last night saw Danny Duffy, who throws very hard as well. And I talked to a couple guys in the clubhouse asking if they could take anything away from that. You know, lefty righty Danny Duffy, of course, a left-hander, and Ventura, a right-hander. But still, the timing, they said the timing issue will certainly be there. That'll be helpful. And, you know, the guys that saw a lot of fastballs last night might be able to take something out of last night's game and use it in this one. Matt, Mike, you guys would know better than anybody if that's a possibility.
No, I would agree. I think the lefty-righty is not that big of a deal. But I think if you're facing back-to-back right-handers who throw in the mid-90s, it definitely helps you. The second night a lot better, that's for sure, because you get your timing is down a little bit. But now remember, though, too, when Mike and I played, you didn't have a lot of back-to-back starters that threw in the mid-90s. If you threw in the mid-90s, you were
Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
Hernandez strikes out.
I guess a lot of it has to do with what you have to back it up. You know, how kind of curveball you have, the difference in speeds from 96 to 84 or 85 with a changeup, and gives you a lot to have to reckon with as a hitter. Now, if you're just throwing 95 and you got a 91 mile-an-hour slider or something, everything's hard.
Yeah.
Well, last night, Danny Duffy, he looked like he didn't even break a sweat.
I was impressed.
He was very comfortable.
I was impressed with him. Very good stuff.
Back towards second base. And the inning is over. So a quick inning for Ventura as he gets the bottom of the order. We've played 2. On to the third. 3-0 Phils. Citizens Bank Park. Time now for our Lowe's home field advantage. Well, Velasquez in 6 starts here at home, including the 16 strikeout game. He's 3-1 with a 1.24 ERA. 42 strikeouts, 2.9 innings.
You know, and someone asked me today, Rex Elder asked me, he goes, why is he so good at home? I have no idea. It's baseball.
Why are they so bad on the road?
On the road.
As Ventura cuts through that one. I think that's remarkable.
Well, he's 1 for 10?
Well, no, not that. 0-2. The fact that they are as poor at home or on the road compared to at home. They're 27-11 at home, the Royals. They're 15-27 on the road. No balls at 2 strikes. Outside. They're on, it's sort of rarefied air. They're on pace to match the 1945 A's, who lost 50 on the road and won 50 at home. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, they're not going to do that. Figure they're going to figure it out on the road.
Well, let's hope they figure it out when they go to Canada tonight.
One ball and 2 strikes to Ventura. Velasquez took too long for him. Looper out toward right. That'll drop in for a base hit. Ventura has his first hit of the year and just his second hit of his career.
It's not that easy, is it, Matt? You don't hit. You just go up there against Velasquez and you can poke a single to right field.
Highest percentage of strikes at home. Velasquez joins Jose Fernandez, Max Scherzer, Syndergaard, Arrieta. Man,
pretty good names there.
Yeah. That's why he's got 42 strikeouts and 29 innings of work. There's Alex Gordon. He singled his first time up after falling behind. He takes a fastball and it's 0-1.
Now, do you think if Ryan Howard played normal first base right now, this pitcher would steal second?
With Ventura, I have no idea what he would do. I would say no. I know where you're going at. Play behind him and take that hole away.
Yeah, just play normal first base. Bluff a couple times, step off, but just play normal first base.
Broken back ground ball towards second. Hernandez makes the tag, throws to first, double play. The bat went past the mound, and Ventura, he looks like he may have done something out in shallow left field.
Well, let's see a replay probably on that one. Here we go.
Good changeup.
Little Peggy Lee.
Watch
Bat goes a flying. Whoa.
There's the tag.
Watch his ankle.
Oh, boy, you pick up so much. I mean, you saw that when it was happening. I'm looking at the play going over to first base. Well, 2 away. Merrifield is up. He struck out his first time up. Curveball.
I mean, this is painful right here. That's full motion. Ooh. It's another reason why there should be DHs.
Thank you.
The ball's butted into the air, foul. It's 0-2. Somebody like Kendrys Morales was the DH. Hernandez would have had to run toward the first base bag to tag him and then make the throw.
Right, and some people might say like DHs know how to run bases. Well, we would know how to stop in that situation.
Oh, you're taking offense to it?
Yes.
Getting a rundown.
Matt is speaking for all DHs out there. Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Well, he's out. There's a serious activity in the bullpen out there.
Oh, yeah, they're moving around. Ventura in the dugout. Oh, yeah, he's limping noticeably. They'll have as much time as they need to get their reliever ready because it is an injury. But that did look like a wicked turn.
Terrible.
Whoa.
95.
Larry. He didn't like it, huh?
He's going to the phone. It's off.
Just a little bit.
Larry's going to call it there. And say, where was that pitch?
Swing and a miss. He got it with the breaking ball. Strikeout number 3 for Velasquez. The double play certainly helped him in this inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Well, after a little bit of concern in the first inning, I don't know if there's any more concern about Velasquez as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Next up, the fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, boys, who holds the Royals record for most home runs in one season? One season. The answer will be revealed in just a little bit. Mike, it's not Matt Stairs, just so you know.
I only hit 19.
Bottom of the third, 3-0 Phillies on top.
Matt has a nice name here. Are you sure?
Yes, he is sure. That is correct.
Nice.
Here's Odubel Herrera to lead it off. Odubel tapped one back to Ventura, who is back on the mound after limping in the dugout. Dylan G is warming up in the bullpen for the Royals, so we'll keep an eye on Ventura. Fastball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Over to the right side, Merrifield. And
A little change up, roll over there. Kind of a, that's that Peggy Lee. That's what Tug McGraw used to call that fastball.
Peggy Lee?
Yeah, batting practice fastball. Peggy Lee, I don't know why he called it that, but that looked like a little changeup he threw up there. Got a little rollover on it.
Well, Peter Borges' 12-game hitting streak has raised his average to .467 during that stretch, and he's hitting .270. Breaks his bat. Spins out toward Merrifield. Phillies baseball is brought to you by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. By Jefferson, call 800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. And by Yellowwood, brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Do we have fireworks after this game?
No.
No.
No fire. Well,
Okay,
not here
checking.
anyway. 0-1. But Matt, after you get off the golf course, I'm sure you will be able to find some fireworks in the area.
River winds, here I come.
Outside, 1-1.
Playing by yourself?
Yeah. Or if any fans want to meet me there, I'll meet them there at 5 o'clock and golf them.
Riverwoods is thinking,
Riverwoods.
Riverwoods is
Open a
thinking,
can
oh,
of
man, we
worms
got a
up there,
tournament
baby.
coming.
I mean, the way
You're gonna
things
have to
are
play
going
a
right
scramble.
now, we're swinging it early and often. I might be able to get 36 in. But this inning is, I'm surprised so far how this has gone.
That they're not waiting a little bit longer?
Well, yeah, you had a 1-0 pitch to Odubel, hits a weak ground ball to second base, and then Borges gets jammed on a fastball. The guy has a hard time standing on the mound right now because his ankle's killing him. Wouldn't you think about maybe, I don't know, maybe laying a bunt down Odubel or work some pitches? He's limping after every throw.
Apparently they didn't watch the opening.
Surprised he's able to throw if he turned that ankle that he's pushing off on. 2-2 pitch coming to Ashe. Outside, 3-2.
We got a little thing going there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
After that?
He doesn't push off. He uses a lot of upper body, but look at his ankle. You can tell it's bothering him.
Ashe slams one deep to right field. Morales just turns and watches. Upper deck
Off his
shot.
face. Off his
Second deck
face.
shot.
Didn't you write it down?
I wrote it down. It
I
says
said he
Pete
was
Shaw.
setting him up after the first at bat. He got jammed, broke his bat. You come back in there again, and I'll put one on the board.
I wrote it down, I swear.
Oh, there's a swing you want to replay right there and save that for Cody. Boom. Hands back.
That's how you throw the barrel to the ball.
That's a pretty thing right there. Nice hitting, Cody.
Right into the first row of the second deck. Nice grab by that gentleman. Cody Ashe's home run. It's his third of the year.
Oh, it went over his face on the
Yeah,
scoreboard.
right over his face. 418 feet away. Ned Yost is out with the athletic trainer to talk to Ventura. they saw the same things we did as far as his limping after that throw.
What could this conversation be?
We're going to take you out.
Yeah, trying to talk him out of coming out.
So he's done. Dylan G is going to come in.
Cody's hit some long home runs.
He's hit some long home runs.
Sure,
And just
yeah.
the extra base hits overall recently have been fantastic.
But one thing about Cody Ashley's swing is he doesn't try to elevate the baseball.
Good.
Like, he doesn't try to do that uppercut swing like a lot of, I mean, I was the king of uppercuts. But he has that nice playing, that going down on that baseball, and that's how he gets that backspin, and that's why he drives the ball out of the ballpark as far as he does.
Here this afternoon, a 3-run shot by Cameron Rupp, a solo shot by Cody Ashley. Boy, Cameron let that ball get deep. He was late on it, but he showed his power being late on it.
Yeah, Cameron's ball was like a knockdown, you know, like real quick. So is Cody. Man, the home run swings are beautiful things. I mean, there's a lot of similarity to all of them. You tell me Cody swung hard at that ball?
No. Cody he swung at that ball like he wanted to make solid contact.
Exactly, and went in the upper deck.
Well, here's Dylan G, longtime New York Met.
You can see guys when they're kind of locked in, they're doing something a little different, and it could have something to do with the, you know, the swing tension. You know, there's not tension in their swings when they're hot. They're not trying to overpower the ball. They're just trusting that centering the ball will do damage. You know, you don't need to, like a boxer who's flicking that jab out there and quick with the right hand, but he's not trying to knock you into next week with the right hand, which makes it slower and less effective. Putting a Muhammad Ali on the ball, right? A little quick, boom, bam, bam, bam. Balls. We talked about Morales in the opening. I mean, I don't think he you know, a couple of these home runs when he's hit's been like just turn the core real quick, short and quick, just boom, turn the core through the ball.
Shorter yard of the ball, the farther it goes.
Plus, the longer you can wait.
Yep. Well, Cody really has turned it around these last couple weeks.
But you have to trust your hands in order to do that. And once you have any doubt in your mind that I don't trust my hands anymore and I got to use my body, then the core goes early, and that's why you see a lot of awkward swings or a lot of takes where your shoulder flies out of the zone. But if you think about making that contact and then exploding through, that's why balls travel as far as they do, like we've seen from Morales, Cameron, and Cody.
Well, here's Maikel Franco against Dylan G. You saw his numbers against the Phillies lifetime. Hasn't faced them since 2014. In fact, he pitched in 4 games in 14, 4 games in 13 against the Phils. Franco takes on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Really tough pitch.
Wow.
Changeup and 3 pitches, and Franco is struck out. So the side is retired, but the Phillies tack on 1 more thanks to Cody Ashley. We'll go to the 4th. It's 4-0 Phils. Eric Hosmer and Cheslor Cuthbert will lead it off for the Royals. Time now for our Geico quote of the day. Our Geico quote of the day, Kendrys Morales on his power surge. I feel really good right now at the plate, and the key is I'm making hard contact when I'm swinging the bats. And all the numbers sort of dictate that. Matt, walk us through this here. What are you seeing from this graphic? I
see a lot of mistakes from pitchers. I mean, really, I do. I see a lot of pitches that are right down the middle, down in the zone. Now, this is the view from a pitcher, of course. But again, pitchers are making a lot of mistakes. The dark blue are, of course, home runs, but he's not missing them. That's the key.
Right.
And the key is he's putting a nice, easy swing on it, and he's making solid contact. Now, if he was trying to muscle up or try to hit home runs, there'd be probably 8 dots on there instead of 4 dozen.
Well, he walked his first time up. He takes a high curveball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
I don't think, just one more thing on that, is I don't think those pitch locations are any different than any hitter.
Right.
I think the difference is he's hitting them.
Yeah.
Most hitters are fouling them off, right? Or taking them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's what you guys talked about, being relaxed. I mean, Murph, it's coming at the right time for the Royals. I mean, they obviously needed a boost. They don't have a lot of power. They have a lot of guys injured, but he certainly has helped the cause here for them.
Yeah, and we're talking a lot about the last, 8 games, how he's been, uber hot, and he has been. But if you look back on May 29th, Morales was batting 185, and now you look and he's batting 267. So a lot has been going right in the last month for Kendrys Morales. I talked to a couple of folks in the Royals organization, and they all said the same thing. Pitch selection, what you guys are talking about. Early in the season, he was getting himself out a lot. He was chasing pitches. Pitchers were being very careful with him. He obviously had a terrific year last year. Pitchers coming into this season being much more careful with him. He was chasing a lot of pitches out on the outside of the plate and outside the zone, and he was getting himself out. He stopped doing that. He took a couple of days off in May and sat down, watched some video of what he did last year and this year, and the results have been, over the last couple of weeks, certainly have been great.
Well, and this is what we talked about before, that the Royals folks have discussed. He would go after that pitch and not be able to hit it because it's just a bit out of the zone, so they wouldn't throw it to the hot zone, which is, middle in for a lefty when he's batting left-handed.
And excuse me, Tommy, the first at bat he laid off of that pitch twice and then walked. And you can see it's not a pitch he wants to swing at.
Right. Here's Eric Hosmer, who reached on a fielder's choice his first time up, hits it over toward Maikel Franco. Hasn't played perfectly. Spray charts, boys. 5-3 on the putout, 2 away.
That's good. Good for Velasquez, though. He can ride that pitch up in the zone like that to someone like Morales.
Yeah, he misses. It's supposed to be a fastball, but look how much tail he has on that. It's not a sinker. It's more of a runner. You know, you're throwing it towards the barrel, then all of a sudden it goes away to the end of the bat, and that's what happens. You get a lot of weak ground balls or broken bats.
Cuthbert struck out his first time up. I have to say, he's using all of his pitches here in these first few innings.
Well, he's pitching. When you don't have that overpowering stuff and you can't blow that fastball by a lot of hitters.
Still got him, still got him, still got him.
Safe at
Whoa!
first base is Cuthbert.
Might be too much of a cheat by Ryan there, but I think that's closer than it looked.
Tom Hallion's looking into the dugout. Cameron Rupp's going out to chat with Velasquez. They'll buy a little time. Larry Bowa is on the phone. He may have beaten it by a hair. Let's take a look.
Good
Oh
call.
man, I tell you what, you credit those umpires how they see it. And by the way, you guys, Friday night I was watching, and you were talking about the replays. Is it like 50% of them have been overturned? It was like 300 and some out of 700.
Yes, yes, there's a little more. I think a little more than 50%.
Oh.
And then you throw in the fact that there's been some that have stood, which means there's no conclusive evidence to go back the other way. A bit low on that pitch, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Escobar grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Or I should say to third base his first time up.
You were looking at my score sheet?
I did look at your score sheet.
That's a new one.
Here's the numbers through June 30th. 749 reviews, 356 have been overturned, so just shy of 50%. And then the calls that have stood and not confirmed. 2-1 Escobar.
I don't know. I like Velasquez. I like his body language today. I mean, once he got through that first inning, they were a little worried about him, but he's having some fun out there right now. Maybe it's the 5 runs or the 4 runs, excuse me, that allows him to do that. But you know what I mean? He's flipping the ball around a little bit and going around his back and slapping his leg.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Cuthbert leads off first. Outside. Did he go? No.
95.
Yeah, so he's thrown 3 fastballs to Escobar, 93, 93, and 95. So got his arm loosened up.
Kind of took his time there, letting that one go. He was going to try a hard one, see what happened.
Runner goes. Pitch is swung on, missed 95. A little explosion down in the zone. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 infield hit, 1 man left. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. BuyAToyota.com to find your RAV4 today. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go Phils. Bottom of the fourth inning, 4-0 Phillies on top. Cameron Rupp his first time up. This is a shot.
It is, and the reason why is because one, he knew he had to get on top of that high fastball, and he couldn't overswing. Beautiful swing. It's a powerful swing. Right here, watch how his his chin is so tight to his shoulder. His hands go back nice. Now, as he goes through the swing, notice his head doesn't move a whole lot. But look how he stays on top of that ball in a perfect power position, straight leg, but you still see the head down looking at the ball coming in, and that's the reason why he got on top of that baseball. If he tries to lift that baseball, he'll either swing underneath it or hit a home run up an elevator shaft.
Swings at the first pitch from Dylan G. Now, we talk about that home run. He was late on it, though, right? He wasn't planning on going the other way with that. He was late on it, right?
I wouldn't say he was late.
Wasn't that a two-strike?
2 strikes.
Yeah, probably. He's probably kind of like in his choke and poke, guard the plate mode. And that's what you get out of a choke and poke from Cameron Rupp, who's like Paul Bunyan, you know. I mean, you still got 400-foot power when you're just guarding a dish.
Over toward third. And Cuthbert throws out Rupp. All right, so you have the anti-Ventura on the mound right now with Dylan G. Ventura left with an apparent ankle injury. I say that because he doesn't throw 96 or 97 or 98 miles an hour.
Well, we've seen Dylan G a lot, right?
Yep, 14 games. This is the 15th. Ryan Howard has seen him quite a lot. He has 7 home runs against him.
Wow.
Wow, really? Mm-hmm.
No balls and 1 strike.
Ryan seems like he's in the more of a squat mode, trying to use the lower half a lot more. Just keep those hands tight to your body.
Yeah, we've seen him sort of vary it this year. He's been up, straight up. He's been down like that. This is lower than even the way he used to be, right?
Yeah, and he's wider stance as well.
That one hits the home plate umpire on a bounce.
You know, when you become a guy who plays once in a while, you need to get into a stance where you feel comfortable and that you're not going to have your timing off consistently. So you can see the wider stance, which I like.
Hey, Ryan, that was the first fastball he got in the at-bat, and he's already swung 3 times. Which tells me that one problem that Ryan is having this year is kind of thinking he can hit every pitch, you know? That's a nice base hit right there, Always. He got it over that darn short right fielder that gives him fits. That's tough to put one. You got to put a little topspin on that baby to get it between them. But I mean,
don't get hosed by your water supplier by paying high prices on water, cooler rentals, and hidden fees. Call WB Mason to order all natural Blizzard spring water, available in 5-gallon bottles and small packs at a price you will love. Exclusively from who? But WB Mason. Here's Freddie Galvis.
Man, when I had a pitcher that I was very familiar with, like he is with G, like Ryan Howard is with G, I mean, I got enough of a history against him to kind of sit on something. And generally it's a fastball. You know, maybe I change the location of where I'm looking or something like that. But I just don't think anybody's a good enough breaking ball hitter to swing it, you know, this until 2 strikes to just look for the ball and try to hit all the pitches.
I would agree.
I think you're doing the pitcher a favor if if you think you can hit all of his pitches.
Two and 2 to Freddie Galvis.
That's why they always say, and we had a great conversation with Jim Toman. He called in that one day when he found out he was going to the Wall of Fame, that I hit off the fastball until I have 2 strikes, and then I make the adjustment. Now, if you're sitting on a curveball, your whole at bat, you finally get it and you hit it, that's fine. But if you're sitting fastball and trying to react, it's tough.
Off the hands, out to shallow left center field. Dyson breezes in for it. 2 outs. And that'll bring Cesar Hernandez to the plate.
Oh, I believe hitting is a lot about visualization. And a good hitter is, changes his visuals and adjusts as the game goes on. And, I may not like to hit Nolan Ryan's curveball, and I want to hit his fastball, but I paint a picture in my mind. If that baby humps up behind my head, it's a curveball. I get a picture of it in my mind before he winds up. I just want to have that picture there. Now, I'm not going to hit it until I get 2 strikes. I'm going to do my best to try to put it in play, but you got to visualize things when you're a hitter. You can't just go, here I am, I'm a hitter, I'm going to look for the ball and hit it. I believe you got to see it happening before it happens.
Outside, 2-1 to Hernandez, who struck out his first time up. Cesar hitting over 400 in his last 17 ball games. Trying to continue that here.
So we can apply his theory of what's that hitting coach's name?
Hensley Mullins.
His Hensley Mullins theory of hitting to the left side too, as well, right?
Absolutely. He did that in Arizona. I think if he hits a ground ball, even if it's a little slow, he's going to beat it out. His problem is they got Ryan over at first base if they hits a ground ball slowly.
The big man's in motion, though. So he'll be all right.
That's true. There's Velasquez on deck. Runner goes. Pitch is looped out toward left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. The big man's trying for third. The throw on the run by Gordon, and he is safe. He missed him.
The phantom tag.
Ryan Howard was going to third base. It didn't matter what was going to happen. He was going to third base right off the bat.
Yes, he was.
Told you, big man was going to show some speed right there.
Big man may put a fine slide on him over there, apparently. A nice play by Gordon in left field.
See the top of the glove at the elbow. It looked like it may have hit it just by the movement right there.
Well, if that missed his arm, that's pretty poor tagging right there by that third baseman. I mean, you got to straddle the bag, don't you?
Yeah.
Got to be on the side.
Yeah, coming out in front of the bag like that, I think you have problems.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they wouldn't have the same replay as we did right there.
Well, somewhere you figure they would be able to track it down. So that's the crew chief, Tom Hallion to the left, and Dan Bellino.
Well, Cesar gets another knock.
Gordon,
it's a good throw off balance.
Yeah, throwing it like he's a third baseman charging.
Yeah, I think
yes, you're right there. Looked like he got him.
Well, he's acting like he got him. You know what I mean? He's kind of like there. He makes the touch and he kind of just bails out of there. Like that should be enough.
You see, the glove moves as it goes past his elbow, so there has to be some contact there. The Royals are already walking off the field.
Again.
Yeah, they don't have replay etiquette. They're not selling it.
I wonder when they say they have to hold the defense, is it basically just the pitcher and the catcher?
Probably, yeah, because the pitcher has to warm up a little bit, keep his arm loose.
And I'll tell you another thing that they should implement, probably crazy, but I think that looks awful when they're in this replay mode, the umpires, and everyone's kind of like, well, what do we do now? What do we do now? They say we go off the field. I think that if there is a replay, the defense should all have to hold their positions.
They literally hold their positions. Stay there.
Yeah, stay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the outfield stay in the outfield, infield stay in the infield, and then if they say he's out, they run off the field. It just looks awful for the 8 players
just milling around.
Sashaying off the field.
I don't know if there's anything enforceable, but that I would agree with you if you're from a look standpoint. Yeah, they're actually taking a longer look at this than I would have thought also. Dylan G is just hovering out in front of the mound. Ryan Howard is standing on third base, and Cesar is still standing on first base.
I just think it's I don't know why I get bad vibes with this. I mean, I like getting the play right.
You don't like having 6 guys at third base right now?
Yeah. They're all, what are they doing? They're talking.
Yeah, if you want fraternization to end, there's the call. He is out. All right, so Ryan makes the final out over third. Base hit for Cesar Hernandez. 4-0 Phils. We'll head to the 5th. Sports Service delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Top of the 5th inning, Phillies up 4-0. And Gerard Dyson takes strike 1 from Vince Velasquez. Five strikeouts for Velasquez so far. Although I think this is the kind of day where you don't get caught up in his strikeouts, because he is doing what Matt suggested during the Keys. He's more trying to pitch to contact. Now, when he gets to 2 strikes, he's probably going for it.
Yep.
Like right now.
Well, I think a nice little lead, 4-run lead, 3-run lead can free you up a little bit.
That's true.
In the sense that if you don't have it now, you're going to get it eventually. I think that's a valuable thing to a pitcher.
Strike 3 called. 93, nice and easy. Toyota Major League Scoreboard. Danny Espinosa is starting to heat up. He has 17 home runs now, including a grand slam today. It's his 2nd grand slam of the week.
He had 7 steaks the other day in the game.
Reds have allowed 7 grand slams this year. Espinosa had 7 RBIs?
7 RBIs.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I think all the talk about Trey Turner maybe coming up and taking his job kind of got to him a little bit. Over toward third, and it's 0-1.
I've always wondered about him, Espinosa. Watching this guy should be he should be a good hitter. He's a switch hitter, and he's got a good eye. He just used to go so hard at everything when he swung.
Plus, he had about 20 hitting coaches in his ears.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. I mean, literally everyone would give him a pointer.
You think that's because they all thought the same thing? Oh, did you?
I gave him one too.
Well, just to put it on record, I did not say anything to him.
When I played with him, back in whenever I was there, 11.
Down low.
You know what I told him? Stop listening to everyone.
Well, that's hard. You got to wear a little sign on your hat or something that says, "Don't talk to me about hitting."
Another foul ball. It remains 1-2. So Butera fouls off the 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
I don't know whether you guys have talked about it. Did you talk about it Friday or not? Lorenzo Cain and Mike Moustakas.
Yes, both on the DL. We just talked about the fact they're not here. Those are big misses.
Yeah,
for
I'm
them.
telling you. A lot of people probably don't realize that they're missing 2 starters. Lorenzo Cain, he's MVP caliber player.
Yeah,
All-star.
Gifted center fielder. And Moustakas, hot and cold for Ned Yost, but more hot than cold over third base. They let Omar Infante go, who was a big part of the last couple of years for them. 1-2 pitch to Butera. And he floats that one foul. He's got something going right now against Velasquez.
He's covering the whole field here.
Yeah, elevate this fastball. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Cameron wanted it down and away, but.
Well, yeah, that's where they wanted to go, but there's nothing wrong with that pitch. He's been looking down the zone for the last 7 or 8 pitches.
Very good take right there.
Dylan G is on deck. He's the opposing pitcher after Ventura left with a left ankle sprain. And ball 4. Just a hair low. Butera wins the battle after a bunch of foul balls. Watch #1 overall pick Ben Simmons kick off his 76ers career in the NBA Summer League as the Sixers rookies battle with the Celtics. Sixers-Celtics NBA Summer League basketball tomorrow at 7 over on TCN, the Comcast network. Well, gentlemen, that was a 10-pitch at bat that included 6 foul balls and results in the second walk issued by Velasquez. As G takes a strike.
If he was playing with the A's back in the day, it's a $50 gift card to a restaurant.
Oh, is it really?
Yep. If you had a 10 pitch at bat and you get on base, $50 gift card.
Of your choice?
No, as of me and John B's a nice choice. Because we bought him.
Ball's butted to the right side. Velasquez casually will flip over to Hernandez. 1-4 on the sack. Here's the look of the players that are out on the DL for the Royals. Gordon just returned from the wrist injury Matt talked about yesterday, but Cain on with the hamstring. Moustakas is out for the year with an ACL tear. Jason Vargas, I had forgotten about Vargas.
Just went on the DL. Moustakas and Gordon went on the DL the exact same day. They had that collision in foul territory. One blew his knee out, one broke his wrist. And Cain's out with the hamstring, which is not a severe hamstring tear.
Oh,
Gordon sends one in the air to deep right field, and this is going to be a 4-2 ball game. Towering shot into the second deck. And that's his 6th home run of the year. So he's going up there hunting first pitch.
ball was well hit there, Matt. Got thrown back into the infield too by those people in the upper deck. They probably didn't think they were going to get a ball up there today. And he even got let go with one hand.
Well, the first 2 at bats, Gordon was started off with the exact same pitch. He didn't miss the 3rd one. The BP fastball. This is a very nice swing. I mean, you have to use that lower half, especially when the ball's down in the zone. Nice finish, nice follow through.
Yeah, no worries about the wrist there. No balls and 1 strike to Merrifield.
That's what you call a big fly.
Sure was. 402 feet.
Have you seen home run? Have you seen any way up in there this year?
You know, that's a good question.
But maybe 3. I think that's the 3rd one.
Yeah, it's very limited. So Ashley goes there earlier.
Ashley's gone up there twice, I believe, this year.
That is a poke. Ground ball to shortstop. Freddie Galvis is up with it. And just gets it there in time to get Merrifield. And the side is retired. 2 runs do score, though. A walk and a home run. So we've got to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Philadelphia. The Phillies up by 2. Bank minor league report. Minor league's been red hot for the Phils. Lehigh Valley, though, lost to Charlotte 10-3. Manuel Burris had a double and 2 runs. Reading defeated Harrisburg 3-0. Dylan Cousins his 23rd home run. Clearwater defeated Brevard County 8-5. Kyle Martin a home run and 3 RBIs. And Williamsport defeated Batavia 4-1. The Muck Dogs. Luis Encarnacion had a couple hits. Reading has won 6 in a row, 10 of the last 11. Nick Pivetta, by the way, was taken out of a game earlier, was placed on the disabled list with a groin strain. Doesn't seem like it's that serious, but he is still on the DL. He's the guy they got for Jonathan Papelbon last year. Here's Velasquez to lead off the home 5th. In fact, some news for the Phillies. Dyer Hinojosa finished up his rehab, coming back from that hamate bone injury. And he's been assigned to Lehigh Valley to continue to get some innings in.
I believe he got the win last night, didn't he?
I think you're right. Velasquez hits it out towards center. Dyson is over that way, and he makes the catch. July 17th, the Phillies take on the New York Mets. It's the Galapagos Gang Beach Towel. Compliments of Pico that'll be given out free to fans 14 and under. Tickets for that series and for the rest of the home slate can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. There's that beach towel. Headed down to the shore anytime soon. Take it with you. Or if you're cold. Odubel takes a breaking ball. Phillies got to put their foot back on the pedal here. I think he was fooled on that pitch.
What gave you that idea?
Just going out on
the
a
look
ledge.
on his face.
I'm just going out on a ledge. Inside, 2-2.
It's fun to watch Odubel here, didn't it?
It is, even when he makes some bad swings. I just love watching his reaction.
He was like a house of fire when the series started with that home run. He's cooled off a little bit since that. More home runs this year than last year already. And he pulls that one into right field, a base hit.
He's back. That was such an easy swing right there. That might have been the easiest swing he's taken in a long time. And the ball still explodes off his bat.
Like a walk in the park, right? I mean, it's just like.
That's like playing Pepper right there.
Exactly. Rod Carew. Here comes another easy swing.
Peter is 1 for 2 today.
You know, we talked earlier, and when Murph was bringing up about facing back-to-back pitchers that throw mid-90s, I always found it a little tougher when you face a guy who's throwing 95, 96, and then all of a sudden the guy comes in and throwing 88 with a very good changeup or off-speed pitches. That's where you really had to concentrate on telling yourself, hey, listen, back off a little bit. You know, maybe you might think right center. Now all of a sudden we might start thinking left center a little bit.
Are you talking game to game or in the middle of a game like today?
Like today.
Yeah.
Ventura comes out of the game.
It is different. Three balls and no strikes. All three pitches in the same spot to Borges.
Was that a 2-0 slider? It's like he tried to spin that thing and it kind of call it helicopter.
Yeah.
Kind of backed up inside. Well, that's what you get when you're hottest hitter in the league and you get a 2-0 count on you.
Runner goes, pitches low, and ball 4.
This could spell trouble right here. Now Cody coming off an upper deck home run. Amazing how the game finds you when you're swinging the bat well. Runners on base.
Well, this is what he did in the third inning, up to the second deck.
Very nice. Nice reaction. Nice easy swing. Great bat spin.
Nice bat lay down.
Well, he has thrived in this 3-hole. He's been a nice addition to the middle of this lineup that was looking for a little offense. Hitless in his career against Dylan G. Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the 5th. Curved ball. I think G wanted that one.
He's lucky that ball didn't go about 400 feet.
Ground ball toward first. Hosmer to a knee. Flips to G covering. 3-1 on the putout.
Moves 2 men into scoring position. I mean, I know it's not what Cody wanted, but they call that somewhat of a productive at bat. We'll wait and see what happens with Franco.
Yeah.
Matt, now's where we need that little choke and poke single to right field stroke.
We saw in the first game that they were awfully careful with Franco in spots like this. The Royals were. But you've got a hot hitter in Cameron Rupp on deck, who's hit in 9 straight. Good pitch. 1-1.
That's over swinging right
there.
there.
Yes, that's a bad swing. That was real close to ground ball to third.
Which should have been
ground ball to short.
A very easy swing. You know, and Franco was G's first hitter that he faced. And he saw the same amount of pitches, the slow curveball, the off speed. Knows he's not overpowering, so he knows, he should know that he needs to just, hey, relax a little bit. We don't have to attack this ball like we would at versus Ventura.
Here's as he grows in the game, this is a situation right here where he'll need to learn a go-to approach.
That one just past Odubel Herrera.
And it's his by go-to, I mean like a contact approach where you choke up on the bat a little bit, you want to spread out, you take that jam shot somewhere.
It's a quick feet right there.
Big Savvy told him, make sure you're in foul territory. 1-2 pitch. Up and in, 2-2. Tom Hallion says no swing.
Good take right there. Tough one to lay off of.
Boys, go talk to him. You've already gone through your fastball, your change, and your curveball. The only thing we haven't seen yet, sorry, Tom, is that doubling up on the fastball inside.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Franco. There you go, Matt.
Well, this has to be a slider or something spinning or a changeup.
First base
you
open.
Would think. Or does he come back in there again and he's coming back in again?
Up the third base line, swinging bunt. That's going to die in no man's land. An RBI single, 5-2 Phillies.
Contact. Anything, something good can happen if you put her in play.
Third RBI of the series for Franco.
And really, you couldn't place it up there any better.
No.
That's for sure. Let's go back to Cody's at bat. Ground out to
reaction
first
going
base.
past first.
Yeah, Cody putting both runners in scoring position. Contact
right.
again. And now you've got runners on first and third with Cameron Rupp coming up. Rupp's 3-run home run in the first inning gave the Phils the early lead. And he pulls that one foul past Peter Borges. He was right on it.
Another reaction at third. Big old magnet over there.
It's like Dylan G steaming a little bit out on the mound about that little swinging bunt by Maikel Franco.
Hang this curveball.
Oh, he did. Merrifield out in shallow right center field makes the catch. Matt, you're in the predicting business here today.
I predict that we'll get a hole one today over at Riverwind.
We'll go to the 6th inning. Phil's up by 3.
One can only.
Having fun while putting together a fantastic and productive month of June. Peter got off to a slow start this season, but he is making up for it as we head toward the All-Star break. Borges isn't in the lineup every day, but when he is, he's been delivering an average in the high 300s for most of the month and is cashing in with runners in scoring position. His speed can lead to problems for opposing teams. It has been recently, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Peter Borges has a base hit and a walk here this afternoon. The Phils just tacked on a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Vince Velasquez's lead is up to 3 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. And now he's got the middle of the order, 3, 4, and 5. Morales, Hosmer, and Cuthbert. Morales struck out his last time up and then walked his first time. He begins this inning with 79 pitches. The first pitch is low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. May have gotten a piece of the home plate umpire. I think the Phillies are going to get bullpen action during this inning. 84 pitches in his last outing. He's at 81 here. It's not about the pitches as much as what happened in the first inning, I think. There's Brian Flynn, who pitched in Friday night's ball game for the Royals. Outside, 2-1. And Severino now gets up and starts to throw. Two and 2.
See, that's the pitch right there that Morales hasn't been missing, except for that one right there. Right over the plate, down the zone, the oh-no zone.
Which we saw the other night.
Yes. And last night.
Yep. Let's see how they attack him with the count even 2-2. He went around.
Snorkel.
Yeah. Snorkel. Second time he's got Morales. What a way. Time now for our GMC Precision plays of the games. Let's take a look at some strikeouts from Vince Velasquez.
I would love to. Just change-up's been very good today. It was a BP fastball. Nice 94-mile-an-hour fastball right there. Off-speed pitch. Morales climbing the ladder with a heater. You see a nice fastball low and away. Nothing you can do with that pitch. Another good fastball right there with a front door sinker.
The ball's hit through the hole on the right side by Hosmer, a base hit. It's his first hit of the day, third hit of the series. 7 strikeouts today for Velasquez. And that'll bring Cuthbert to the plate. Cuthbert struck out his first time up and then singled his last time. .24 in the first inning. That's where he had the issues, where Pete Buchanan and Bob McClure and Sean Ficasny came out, where his fastball was at 88, 89, 90. He's hit 95 today. Not the normal 95, but still. Just a bit low again, 2-0. Here's the out distribution for him.
It's a great mix. 7 strikeouts, 8 ground outs, 10 fly balls. And I would say the 10 fly balls have been, would you say, what, 8 or 9 of them weak fly balls?
Yes, I would agree with that.
Hold him up.
It's like he
Cameron
pitched
rattled his
cheek.
cage a little bit there. He'd say, good old mask. Boom. So you want to be an umpire.
Yeah.
Huh? Cuthbert has nearly 200 plate appearances. Has he been playing as a regular player the entire year?
Well, with Moustakas going down with the knee injury.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's kind of opened it up for him. I think he and Merrifield have been 2 pleasant surprises for them with these injuries. He went around. Ooh, maybe he didn't. 3-2. He must have got back pretty quick. He did.
He did. You got fooled by the body motion. Straight on, it looks like you really attacked it.
Yeah. Out towards the left side of the infield. Galvis is in. Franco makes the catch. Now he's really going to be mad at him.
Yeah, he's really a ball hog. That was in my territory.
But he got the out done. That was a weird swing.
Yeah, that's a ball 4. Thank you, swing. Freddie. Not like a whole lot of communication going on there.
No.
But I think they've played together for for what, last 2 years.
Yeah. Part of it, yeah. Now the Toyota Major League Scoreboard. So let's go on the DL for a couple weeks and then come back and throw a no-hitter through 6 if you're Steven Strasburg. I wonder what Dusty Baker will do if he continues, because he's obviously been on the DL with the bad back. But it's 8-0 Washington. That game's in the bottom of the 6th, and he has a no-hitter through 6. 93 pitches, so
yeah, he's not going to get he's not getting a complete game.
Yeah. So after the meeting on the mound, Escobar is the batter, with Severino Gonzalez continuing to throw in the bullpen.
He's the 4th hitter next inning. In our half of the inning, Velasquez. Probably going to give him one more hitter.
I would think so. We'll see. Ground ball foul, and it's 0-1. Normally I'd say let him finish the inning, but based on what happened at the beginning and the fact that he threw 84 last time, you kind of get roped into the whole pitch count thought, or you kind of think along the lines of Bob McClure and Pete Buchanan and what they've done during the year. Bob talking to Rick Kranitz. Rick has spent the last week in the dugout. An extra set of eyes, an extra voice in the dugout. '91 foul tip, 1-2. John McLaren's been out in the bullpen. One ball, 2 strikes to Escobar. Out to right field. Peter Borges over toward the line, flips the sunglasses down, puts it away. And Velasquez has gotten through 6 innings here this afternoon. A baseball for a youngster. Velasquez 7 strikeouts today. He'll leave with a 5-2 lead. Day doorbuster weekend through Monday with special holiday deals every day. Sleepy's the only mattress professionals. By Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. 5-2 Phillies as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Changes for the Royals. There's Vince Velasquez first and foremost, going through the dugout. Nobody's really saying too much to him. You take a look at his glove, and then he is greeted by Bob McClure. Christian Colon will take over at third base, part of a double switch. He'll bat 9th. And Brian Flynn, who pitched in game 1 of this series, former Marlin, will pitch here in game number 3. Dylan G went 2 1/3. He allowed 4 hits and 1 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. One strikeout in relief of Ventura, who left with the sprained ankle. Ryan Howard 1 for 2 today. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be Howard, Galvis, Hernandez, and then the pitcher's spot as Adebray Ramos warms up. Opposite way, 1 and 2.
Dylan G did a nice job for the Royals bullpen. Couple innings.
It's kind of like Adam Morgan yesterday. He gave up the run, but he
he saved the bullpen.
Yeah. Inside and low, 2-2. I mean, you'd love to go throughout a long outing without allowing anything, but
right.
It's not always going to be the case. Swing and a miss. Howard struck out. And 1 away here in the 6th inning. Time now for our Jeep Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, guys, let me refresh your memory. Question is, who holds the Royals record for most home runs in one season?
Steve Balboni. I think he had 38.
36 is the correct answer. Back in 1985.
That's for a right-handed hitter.
Yeah. Lefty Matt, you want to give us the history of the Royals?
Mayberry Sr. hit 34 as a left-hander.
You want to give us the history of Matt Stairs?
Did not hit that many.
What'd you say, 19 was your high with Kansas City?
The 18, 7, I don't know, 17 maybe?
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thank you for playing. Jeep Stump the Fans.
I couldn't believe. I mean, when I went over to Kansas City, I knew the record was in that area. But no one in that history has hit over 40 home runs in a season for a Royal.
Over to third base. Colon knocks it down, picks it back up, throws out Freddie Galvis. And there are 2 outs. Well, I don't know. I mean, Mike remembers. Matt, I don't know if you remember John Mayberry Sr., how good of a hitter he was. That man, he could launch him. Plus, he was a good defensive first baseman, too. Al McRae was pretty good as a Royal.
He was very good.
What years did Mayberry play in Kansas City?
He played in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
And then he went to Toronto. Hernandez lines out to finish up the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-2-3 inning for Brian Flynn. We'll head to the 7th. Phillies up by 3. storyline for today. It's our Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. The Phillies lead at 5-2. It was nice to jump out to that 3-0 lead on the Cameron Rupp home run in the first. He's hit it 9 straight. Peter Borges has extended his hitting streak. And the other storyline is that Vince Velasquez went 6 today, struck out 7. This after a little bit of a scare in the first inning. And now the Phillies will go to the bullpen as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Blanco comes in to play first base as part of a double switch. He'll bat 9th. And Ramos will bat in Ryan Howard's spot. Ramos delivers to Gerard Dyson to start the top of the 7th inning.
Almost been a nice surprise for you.
It really has.
Wow.
Ground ball to second base. Cesar is down with it. And now Buterra's coming up. Ramos is, from a baseball standpoint, Phillies have had a handful of stories, whether it be Luis Garcia, Ramos, just a number of them, where Ramos was out of baseball after playing 1 year professionally with the Cardinals in their summer league. He was out of baseball for a couple of years, was working for his dad. He was doing some other side jobs, right? Washing cars, painting, and then kept at it. And then he comes out and throws 95.
Be some serious competition in that bullpen next year, next spring. Wow. Great arms.
.96 pitches for Velasquez today. You guys got a thought on how he looked there this afternoon after the scare in the first?
Well, I thought great. I think finesse is probably not the right word, but I think he did use some savvy and finesse. You know, he looked like he had some concern early in the game when they came out, and then, you know, he went like 6 or 7 pitches before he hit 90. But he definitely should be leaving the game with a really good positive feeling about his being over his injury.
Yeah, I would agree. And yeah, of course you're a little nervous of what happened in that first inning, but look at this nasty slider right here from Ramos. Very nice pitch. To me, I think today, if he walks away from this, that he pitched a very good game today. He didn't throw a very good game. He pitched a very good game. He didn't have his overpowering fastball. He had to spot his changeup. Today he was very good with first pitch strikes, getting ahead, pitching to contact. And then when he got 2 strikes, he had that good slider or the good changeup to put the hitters away.
Well, it's 2 balls and no strikes to Christian Colon, as Ramos is trying to pitch a 1-2-3 7th inning. 3-0. Phillies starters have recorded 7, 7, and 6 strikeouts in their outings against the Royals, a team that doesn't strike out all that often.
It's a hitter you want right here.
Yep.
This is similar to the last time Gordon hit.
Liner to left field. Cody Ashe will play it on a hop. Thought maybe it would stay up there for him. A reminder that Friday, August 12th, will kick off the Wall of Fame weekend here at Citizens Bank Park. Jim Thome will be inducted into the Wall of Fame. A commemorative print will be given out to all fans on Friday the 12th. Saturday the 13th is Alumni Night, where guys like Mike and Matt will go out and say hey to the crowd. Sunday will be Toyota Wall of Fame Fathead, free to all fans. That's all part of the Rocky series. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Big Jim is going to get his noggin up there in the Wall of Fame.
Be fun to see him again.
It is always fun to see him. He's as outgoing and effervescent as you will find. Fly ball fouled off the third base line. Franco runs out of room.
This is your life, Jim Thome. Weekend. We will a couple of surprise guests he doesn't know about, hoping they pan out. Nice. That's the inside I get from that Miss Debbie Nacito.
All right. 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Rupp.
Nice play.
Used every bit of his shoulder to get that one. Jim hit his 400th career home run here at Citizens Bank Park, and there's a mark on the seat out in left center field where that home run went.
Is that right?
Yep. In that area where the ball landed. Remember that night it rained and everybody thought, oh man, we're not going to get this game in and it's not going to count. Hector Neris starts the throw.
Not sure if Ramos has that front door sinker, but it'd be a good time to throw a front door sinker. Gordon struggled with the fastball inside so far in the 3 games.
Chopper to second base. Cesar waits for it. Throws him out. A scoreless inning. No runs. 1 hit. And 1 man left. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia. The Phils try to take the series from the Kansas City Royals up 5-2. Phillies on top 5-2 here. Phillies homestands in the month of July include the Miami Marlins coming to town on Monday, July 8th to start a 4-game series. All 4 games are at 7:05. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Andres Blanco is going to lead it off against Brian Flynn. James Brown's got to finish the song, though, before we can get to Andres' at bat. Brian Flynn worked a 1-2-3 6th inning. This Royals bullpen is tops in the American League, 2.73 ERA coming into today's action. Blanco takes outside. .265 with 3 homers and 18 RBIs. Softly to shortstop. Escobar up with it. 1 out. Well, the Phillies have it set up the way they want it as far as the bullpen goes. I mean, Ramos gives you a scoreless 7th inning, and now you can get Neris and then Gomez to pitch the 8th and 9th. There is Hector, continues to loosen up. I think we're getting to the point where the roles have been set for a little while, but now you got the 7th inning kind of set with Ramos. It does make it a little easier for relievers to understand that. Double swings at the first pitch. And now Peter Borges is coming up.
Hit it hard. What are you going to say? Lefty on lefty. I don't like to see a left-handed hitter get behind taking pitches. Especially that you got the freedom. 5-2 game, let it fly, right?
Well, that's a good point. You know, if lefty on lefty, even more so than righty on righty, Matt can speak to this. I mean, you don't want to fall behind and get that slider or anything like that.
Yeah, you want to hit a straight one.
Yeah.
And I could make comments about it, but I was usually pulled by this time, and either 1 for defense or 2 for a right-handed hit for me. But no, it is. I mean, when Aduba's a little different because he hits the fastball and the arm speed. I wanted to hit fastball and fastball only. Any little wrinkle in it, I didn't like.
Spit on it.
Yeah, well, spit on it because I couldn't react quick enough.
Borges takes low, 1-1.
But Adubel has no problems facing lefties because he sees on a regular basis of left-handed pitchers. He doesn't sit versus left-handers.
Now that makes a world of difference.
You know, and at times when a left-handed hitter struggles, the best thing to do is to face a left-handed pitcher. Because what it does is it makes you stay in there a little longer, recognize the pitch, knowing that you can't bail because you'll end up taking a terrible swing or everything will go towards first base. So this, sometimes when people say, well, I struggle, I'm not going to play against my left-hander, that's when you throw your left-hander in.
You know, I remember back in the day, Dave Parker, Keith Hernandez, Willie Stargell. I think I want to say Al Oliver when he played for Montreal.
Yeah.
They never missed Carlton. They couldn't hit him, but they felt it was like a badge of honor to be in there.
They had to one day figure out a way to get a hit off him. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils again. 6 up, 6 down for Flynn. We'll move to the top of the 8th. brought to you by Toyota. Get big savings at Toyota's Red, White, and Blue sales event. Toyota, let's go places. By McDonald's. Stop by McDonald's today and enjoy the new McPick 2 for $2.50 menu. I'm loving it. And by your local Ford stores. Phillies up 5-2 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Time now for our Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Comes back in the 3rd inning. Alex Gordon hits a ground ball. Cesar Hernandez does a nice job coming in, tagging Ventura at first, running to second base. Ventura eventually will leave the game with a twisted ankle. But a very nice play. That's your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealer.
Yeah, as he tried to avoid that tag, he landed on that right foot and turned it. Tried to come out and pitch, gave up a home run, and then was out of there. Here's Merrifield against Hector Neris.
And another reason to have the DH in the National League.
Amen.
Swing and a miss. 95 on that heater from Hector. It's amazing how some of these pitches don't look that pitch didn't look anywhere near as hard as some of Velasquez's pitches that were coming in at like 89, 90. Wow. Wow.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good night.
Strikeout number 1 for Neris. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. It's time for our greater coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile. Blue Jays slugger Edwin Encarnacion suspended for a game and fined after his altercation the other day with home plate umpire Vic Carapazza. Called out on strikes, and during the argument, he bumped Carapazza, so he is going to be suspended for a game, but he is appealing that right now. A couple of pitchers also dealing with the DL. We saw Zach Greinke when we were out there in Arizona had to leave the game against the Phillies after taking a big hack and hitting a ball to left field. He pulled his oblique. They were hoping it would get better without a DL stint, but they announced today they are putting him on the 15-day disabled list in hopes that he can get back after the All-Star break. And Joe Ross of the Nationals also headed to the DL. We saw what happened to Vince Velasquez this morning. Well, during his start yesterday, he was down in his velocity from mid-90s to the high 80s. After the game, they announced that he had shoulder inflammation, and he is headed to the 15-day disabled list as well, guys. Yeah, that's a big story out of Washington.
That is a huge story.
So, Murph, let me ask you this question, bro. Do you think if we had a DH, you think Zach Greinke would be on the DL?
I think he still would have batted.
Yeah, knowing Zach Greinke, he probably would have wanted to hit. But,
yeah, it's like Madison Bumgarner.
Bumgarner, that was unbelievable.
I'm not going to agree with that. I don't like the DH. So
I never said I liked it. I said,
Murph, we'll see you tomorrow.
It only makes sense to have it.
It does make sense in some ways, but it changes the game of baseball. I'm a National League guy.
Well, speaking of the National League, Strasburg was lifted after 6 2/3 with the no-hitter intact. Blake Trinan came into the ball game. Strasburg, the first major league pitcher, was looking to become the first major league pitcher to throw a no-hitter in his first start off the DL. How about what Neris has got going here today, huh? Hosmer had no chance. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. weekend home games for the rest of the year. You can go to Phillies.com to check out some information on that. 4 tickets, 4 Hatfield hot dogs, and 4 Coca-Colas for $100. Again, go to Phillies.com and check out the Phillies family packs. Cody Ashley will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning against Brian Flynn. Phillies lead it 5-2. Flynn has thrown 2 scoreless innings so far. Broken back ground ball. Another broken bat for Ashe. Flynn's there to cover. 3-1 on the putout. Well, he's got a homer today, but he's also had to use a couple of new pieces of lumber.
Yeah, that could have been close. It looked like Cody was a little mad at himself for getting jammed on that ball. And I thought it was a close play at first.
Yeah, because Flynn was a little late getting over there.
Yeah, he hesitated.
Yeah, Cody's got 1 in the upper deck and 3 broken bats.
Yeah. Here's Michael, who is 2 for 3 today. The swinging bunt, his last time up in the 5th inning, has given the Phils the 3-run lead. And he rips this one to deep left center field. It is gone.
Try to sneak that fastball by Michael. Huh?
What's the phrase? You can't sneak cheese by a rat?
Or pork chop by a lion.
I don't think we can sit here and talk about that easy swing. That was a bullet.
14th home run. He's had multiple hits in 5 of his last 6.
Let's watch it. Boom. First ball fastball knee high, a little in. That's the 0-no zone, right? A little difference in that swing and these easy swings that Cody was taking and Cameron, but that'll hurt somebody out there.
Wow. Went out 438 feet estimated. Came off the bat. Exit velocity 110.
This one went 438?
Yeah.
That's what it says.
I don't believe that. Look at 438 would be in the alley store, the Mitchell and Ness alley store.
Cameron Rupp hits one through the hole on the left side. Back-to-back hits now against Flynn, who had retired 7 straight. Cameron with his 2nd hit of the day. And Tommy Joseph will pinch hit. Hector Neris barely broke a sweat in his 8th inning. Michael Franco, I don't know if he broke a sweat in his swing here in the 8th inning.
So much for our theory of working the count.
Well, you said it best, though. When you get a lead, let it fly.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, I guess my point is just we're getting smoking some line drives in the first pitches.
Tommy Joseph pinch hitting, and he takes outside 2-0.
You know who does a lot of that? And they're very successful at it? St. Louis. They're a first ball, fastball hitting team, especially with men in scoring position. They hit you up the middle.
Out toward left center field, toward the end of the bat. Gordon is out in the gap, and he makes the catch. He just missed that one.
Well, I'd like to see him get just a smidge more of that, because you know he's been struggling. It'd be a good turnaround for Tommy. Just missed it. Here's another guy that needs to get back on track. Freddie's been struggling.
Freddie is 0 for 8 in the series. One ball, no strikes. Well, it is no longer a safe situation for Genmar Gomez, but he's been warming up out in the bullpen. But it looks like he's still going to come in. I think Pete's general theory is I want to win. I'm going to close it out if I can with my closer.
generous outside corner today. Matt, I wish Freddie would
take
back
that
to
stance,
get
rid of it, lefty and righty.
And I know he's owned it for a long time, but I'd like to see him get in there, get closer to the plate, and make the pitcher pitch him inside. He puts his bat on the ball. He just has to be too fine. You know what I mean? He's got to reach. See how he has to reach for that ball?
Too much movement.
Yeah. It's basically a power hitter's approach to hitting, you know, where you want to make the pitcher think he can get you out of the way. You want to get your arms extended, need the big long swing.
It'll be out of play. Hosmer will give it a run.
How about Neris in the 8th inning? 8 pitches, 8 strikes.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close either.
That's the Neris that we saw for 2 months just dominate very good hitters.
That ball goes right on by Butera. Rupp will go to second base.
That was one of the shortest pitches I've ever seen. Did that make the dirt?
I think it just barely made the dirt.
A little rosin, huh?
I think I swung at a pitch like that one time.
Hit it on the first bounce?
No, versus the left-hander. I got fooled. Nice line drive over the shortstop's head. He'd run for days. Big shift opposite field.
Yes, he would. That's a close pitch. It's now 3-2.
So that take right there, you go back and you watch your film. See how late he was to react? If the ball was in the glove, then he reacted. That means you're just starting way too late and getting your foot down. Not early enough.
What'd you say?
Lines that one to left center. Rupp's going to score. RBI single for Galvis.
What'd you call him earlier?
A savant. But Nostradamus.
You might get a hole in one today, bro.
I'll just be happy to hit the green.
That was a smoked ball. I love that stance Freddie has, man.
Well, I don't mind it. Look, I would, and I agree with you. I would love to see him go back to the old stance. And when he gets to the point of contact, he's at the stance where he could start at, which would take all that movement getting into that position. But that knock right there, yes, it's going to give him some confidence. It makes it 7-2, 2-strike swing. Ball is up in the zone, and he hits a missile to left field.
Cesar fouls it off. It's 0-2 to Hernandez. Severino Gonzalez has joined Genmar in the bullpen with the Phillies up 7-2. Two nice insurance runs here in this inning. The Toyota Major League scoreboard, it has come to an end. The potential for a combined no-hitter has been broken up by Ramon Cabrera. Strasburg went 6 2/3 scoreless. And it was lifted. Treinen was able to get the last out in the 7th. Then the 8th, though, is when the Reds scored. And Hernandez strikes out, and that wraps up the 8th inning. But a productive inning. Scoring began with Maikel Franco launching a home run to left center field, 14th of the year, 44th RBI. They get 45th RBI. Phillies now lead at 7-2 as we go to the top of the 9th inning.
To Phillies. Genmar Gomez in to try and close this one out for the Phils, get them a series win. Royals will head out of town, and in come the Atlanta Braves for a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday series. And here are the pitching matchups. Two right-handers at 4:05 tomorrow. De La Cruz and Eichhoff will take the baseball. On Tuesday at 7:05, it's Mike Foltynewicz versus Zach Eflin for the Phils, and Julio Teheran and Jeremy Hellickson will take the ball on Wednesday at 1:05 on Getaway Day, guys. But remember, this one's not over yet.
Not over yet, Murph. I'm with you on it. Genmar Gomez is on to try to close it and get over with it, even though it's not a save situation. Paulo Orlando will be the pinch hitter. 22 saves for Genmar, 2.82 ERA. After an electric 8th inning by Hector Neris, in which he struck out 2 and threw nothing but strikes. Orlando takes inside, 2-0. Trying to save it for Velasquez, who went the first 6, allowed 5 hits and 2 runs, trying to prove to 7-2. Over to second base, Cesar Hernandez waits on it. Orlando just trotting up the first base line, so it's an easy out, 1 away. Every time the Phillies pitchers retired the opposition 1-2-3, which Velasquez did in the 2nd and Neris did in the 8th. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Here's Alcides Escobar. Heck of a job by the bullpen so far here today in relief of Velasquez. Just 1 hit and 3 strikeouts.
0 walks, which is nice.
Part of what you pointed out yesterday, Matt, with the first half surprises was Genmar.
9 walks on the year thus far. And probably out of those 9, there probably maybe 2, maybe 3 where he pitched around guys. Ooh.
Well, I sure hope the folks out there are. Of course, the fans don't pick the pitchers, do they?
No.
Sure hope the managers out there, the league, well aware of Genmar's first half. It's spectacular.
Little floater out to center field, a base hit. So Alcides Escobar has his first hit of the day, 4th hit of the series. And that'll bring Gerard Dyson to the plate. So a 14-game hitting streak now for Escobar. It's 4 away from his career high. We've seen some hitting streaks extended here today. Rupp's was extended. Borges's was extended. And now Escobar 1-0 to Dyson.
It's almost like when a no-hitter's going, you talk about a no-hitter, and it always get a knock. I knew I shouldn't have said anything about his base on balls. I should have just left it alone, taken he's at 3-0. If he walks him, my fault. I'll take the blame for that.
Well, every reliever's going to hit 10 walks eventually, Matt.
Darn. I'll throw another one at you for a reason where you might not bring a closer into a game like this. This is not the kind of game that, you know, he is used to pitching in, where he's used to pitching with pressure on the hitter. You know, guys want to move their bat. That's why his sinker and control is so effective. His change of speeds. And they're just kind of no pressure at bats and right now, and you don't ever want to get where you have to take your closer out of the game. You know, where he can't finish this game with a 5-run lead.
Well, speaking of closers, Ricky Bottalico standing by after the ball game. Phillies post-game live brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Phillies wind up winning this ball game. We'll hear from Pete. Swing and a miss. All right, the other ones aren't working. Let's throw a hook. Gutierrez did walk earlier in the game. That was against Velasquez, who walked 2 today in 6 innings. Struck out 7.
Double up on the fastball inside. Good call.
One thing I find about Genmar Gomez when he's pitching is he's very smart. We talked about he doesn't have the overpowering stuff that a lot of closers have. Doesn't have that wipeout slider or the swing in his fastball, but he pitches smart. He will double up, triple up inside to a lot of hitters. Started throwing that split finger fastball in spring training. It's been a good pitch for him.
You wonder how much being a starter in the minor leagues has helped him with that. You know, the ability to be smart, because he was an excellent starter in the minor leagues for the Indians. In fact, threw a no-hitter at one point. Trying to get the last couple of outs here in the 9th inning to finish off this first series of the homestand. Swing and a miss. 2 outs. Gutierrez just kept on leaking out there. And now Colon will bat for the 2nd time.
Good slider. That's 2 swings he's taking at the slider, low and away. Tells you that's a nice tight spin on the slider and hard to pick up the rotation.
So now Colon, who singled his last time up, it's his only time up today, hitting .288 on the year. Takes strike 1. It's 0-1. Sort of feathering the outside part of the plate on that one. Tried that same pitch. It ran a little bit, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Toyota Major League Scoreboard. The Blue Jays are making sure Cleveland doesn't start another winning streak. 17-1. Jay Happ is an 11-game winner. That game, most of that came against Corey Kluber. Russell Martin, red hot after a couple days ago, getting ejected. 3 for 4 with a home run and 5 RBIs. Over to first base. Andres Blanco's got it. And he'll flip to Gomez, covering, and the Phillies have won the series against the Royals. They win it today, 7-2.
Good being with you guys.
Yeah, same here, Michael.
Happy 4th of July.
You too, Mike.
It's a nice way to wrap up this weekend. I mean, if Phil's offense continues, another double-digit day offensively. Cameron Rupp's 3-run home run. Oh, the 3-run home run is huge. 9-game hitting streak. He's our Chevrolet player of the game. Got some solid pitching today from Vince Velasquez. The bullpen did its job. 3 scoreless innings out of the pen. And the defending world champs dropped 2 of 3 to the Phillies this weekend here in Philadelphia. Our W.B. Mason delivery of the game came back in the first inning. Here we go. Cameron Rupp.
Came back on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball with 2 strikes. Nice easy swing. Nice powerful swing. Big man's got some good power. Gave a late 3-0 on the field, and that's why it's your W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
You know, Vince Velasquez started out a little slow with his velocity, and they had a trip to the mound where they were a little concerned with that. But that 3-run home run sort of relaxed everybody because it gave the Phils the early lead. And Cameron Rupp is down on the field with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, I think Tom just said it. He said that 3-run home run early in the game in the first inning really just kind of relaxed everybody and allowed this offense to kind of get going. But let's talk about you. We showed a graphic yesterday about your power to all fields. Once again, an opposite field home run. What is working for you right now? Because we didn't see a whole lot of this last year.
No, you know, I'm being selective at the plate, and I'm not missing my pitch. You know, you don't get too many pitches in at bat, and if you miss it, you know, it makes it a little bit tougher. Right now, I'm not missing it, so I just got to keep staying on it and keep having good at-bats.
You know, I know you got the excitement going early, but when you rounded first base and gave a high five to Mickey Morandini, he told me he almost took his arm off. You got to think about that about your first base coach.
Oh, you know, that's a big homer for us. Getting a start in the first inning, it's exciting. Everybody loves home runs. It's a little more excited.
We'll tell Mickey to work on his upper arm strength. Let me ask you about Vince Velasquez, because after that first inning scare, he really seemed to settle down and pitch today. First of all, what was the conversation about, and what did you see after that?
Well, the ball wasn't coming out like it has been. You know, after starting Arizona, we really threw the ball well, and it wasn't coming out today. We just kind of just wanted to check in on him, and he said he's okay. And it started to heat up, and he threw the ball well. He really pitched well, threw the balls all 4 pitches for strikes, and gave us a chance to win.
And you certainly did that. A good series win for this team against a very good team. Guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, the Phillies have now won 7 of 10 to pull within 9 of 500. Nice way to start this homestand. 7-2 victory. We'll be back after this.